Hi guys, this is Aryan Divedi, one of the admin of Lighting Dreams. So in today Lighting Dreams explain part, we are going to understand the 13th BRICS Summit. So recently the 13th BRICS Summit has been concluded under the chairmanship of India. This was the 13th BRICS Summit in 2021 under the chairmanship of India. So let's discuss in detail. So first of all, let's know what is the BRICS. So BRICS is Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa is an organization which was founded in 2006. So in 2006 it was only BRIC, but later in 2010 South Africa joined and it was then came to be known as BRICS, that is Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. So this BRICS that was formed in 2006, it consists of the five most largest developing country of the world and it represents the 24% of the global GDP. Now the term BRIC, that is BRIC, that because till 2010 before South Africa joined it was called BRIC. So the term BRIC was coined by Jim O'Neill, and after in 2010 when South Africa joined it came to be known as, the association came to be known as BRICS. So BRICS 2021 that we are discussing, it was the 13th summit and it was the 15th anniversary of this international grouping, the international grouping of the BRICS. It was the 15th anniversary and it was an opportunity for India, it was a great opportunity for India as it was under the chairmanship of India. So let's discuss what was the 13th BRICS Summit. This is about the BRICS, that it is an intergovernmental organization consisting of the five largest developing country representing 24% of the global GDP and 41% of the global population. And the term BRIC was coined by Jim O'Neill in 2010. South Africa joined. The next is the 13th BRICS Summit. So the 13th BRICS Summit was under the chairmanship of India in 2021 and it was chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, which was held on 9th of September 2021. Now the theme of 13th BRICS Summit, that is 2021, is intra-BRICS cooperation for continuity, consolidation and consensus. The theme, it is a very important question that we must know. The theme for the summit of 13th BRICS Summit was intra-BRICS cooperation for continuity, consolidation and consensus. So this was it was chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and this was the second time when Prime Minister Narendra Modi chaired the BRICS Summit. Before this, the BRICS Summit was held when it was held in 2016 in India. At that time, in the Goa Summit, it was held in Goa. So in 2016 also it was Prime Minister Narendra Modi only who chaired the BRICS Summit in 2016 when India was the chairman. And even Prime Minister Narendra Modi has told in this certain BRICS Summit that it is a great opportunity for India as we are marking the 15th anniversary of this international alliance and India is the chair. So here we have to know that who was the chair, who represented it, and what was the theme. And this is the second time that Prime Minister Modi will had chaired the BRICS Summit. And earlier he had chaired the Goa Summit in 2016 when the India was the chair of BRICS. Now in this, India has outlined four priority area. First is a very common, two and three things are very common whenever we discuss about BRICS, like the multilateral system. They always want to reform and strengthen the multilateral system. This happens in almost every BRICS summit. And then from the last 3 to 4 BRICS summit, they are discussing about the reformation in the United Nations Security Council. Every time as we know that there are 5 permanent seats in the United Nations Security Council and 10 non-permanent members in the United Nations Security Council. So every time from the last 3 to 4 years, the BRICS meeting is discussing about the reform in the United Nations Security Council, because it has been held that it does not represent proportionally every region of the world. So India has outlined 4 priority areas for its chairmanship in the 2021 BRICS Summit. First is to reform and strengthen the multilateral system. The second is the most important because all the time we are fed up with the terrorism at our border by the Pakistan. So that is counter terrorism. And then we know that that India is the best performing country in the whole South Asian region in the sustainable development goal. We are one of the country who are moving with the pace of achieving the sustainable development goal. We all know the sustainable development goal has to be achieved by 2030. There are a total of 17 sustainable development goals which are to be achieved by the 2030. So India is one of the country, not only one means not the one on the one of the country. It is one the only country which is moving with the pace that it can achieve most of the sustainable development goal target by 2030. So here India has outlined four areas, priority areas. In the third area is that digital and technological tools should be used to achieve. As we know, by the corona pandemic and the induced lockdown, everything has become online and digital. And we in India, even we must remember the demonetization and all the issue for the cashless transactions. And now, as of now, all the classes are held online. All the work for even the Supreme Court is partially now working offline and partially online. Various of the High Court are working online. So India has made a priority that online tools, digital tools should be used to achieve the sustainable development goal. And a very important thing that India has made a priority is enhancing the people to people exchange. Among this five countries, that is Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, there should be a people to people exchange should be there. So these are the four important priority areas of the India under its chairmanship when the BRICS summit was held. Now let's move through some important BRICS summit that are held in the last 15 year. The first we have to remember the first BRICS summit. The first BRICS summit was held in 2009. So as we know that BRICS was founded in 2006. That time it was called BRIC and now it is called BRICS after in 2010 South Africa joined. So the first BRICS summit was held in 2009 under the chairmanship of Russia. It was at that time when the whole world was under the financial emergency of 2008. At that time, the BRICS summit was held to deal with they met and discussed how to deal with the financial crisis and what are the reforms that are required in the financial institution of the various government. We are just discussing the important BRICS summit which are important for your from your exam point of view. The third BRICS summit was 2011, which was held under the chairmanship of China, and in this, the South Africa officially joins the association of BRICS. Then we have the fourth BRICS summit. So India has conducted three BRICS summit, including the 2021. Already in 2012 and in 2016, India has chaired two summit, and including the 2021 India has chaired a total of three BRICS summit. So the fourth BRICS summit, which was the 2012 BRICS summit, was under the chairmanship of India, and in the fourth BRICS summit India mooted the idea of the new development bank. So what is new development bank, we will be discussing after this. And in the 8th BRICS summit, that is 2016, as we have just now discussed, it was also under the chairmanship of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So this was also held by India. So we must remember that including 2021, India has chaired the BRICS for three times. First was 2012, that was the fourth BRICS summit in which the idea of the new development bank was mooted. So new development bank is, when we discuss, it is the institution of the BRICS which is regarding the all the financial, when the financial crisis happened in 2008, there was a need to reform the financial institution, and then in 2012 fourth BRICS summit that was held in the New Delhi. The first Indian chairmanship summit was held in New Delhi. The second was held in Goa. And so in the fourth BRICS summit, that is the 2012, in which India mooted the idea of the new development bank, and in 2015 the new development bank was established. So the new development bank, you have to remember that it was mooted, the idea was mooted in fourth BRICS summit which was held in New Delhi, and it was established in 2015, and the headquarters of the new development bank is in Shanghai, China. The president as of now is Marcus Troggio. The Marcus Troggio is of the president of the new development bank as of now. Next is the Brasilia Declaration. Whenever we discuss BRICS, if you discuss even after 10 year or 12 year, and even when 5 year before when the BRICS was discussed, this is a very important, that is the Brasilia Declaration. So the Brasilia Declaration was signed by all the BRICS members in the 11th BRICS summit. The 11th BRICS summit was held in Brasilia. So in this summit, it was mooted, in this declaration it was mooted that the commitment of the members The commitment of the member to uphold the United Nations Charter and the principle should be there. The reason for the Brasilia Declaration. For example, if the question come tomorrow that what is the Brasilia Declaration? Brasilia Declaration is signed by the BRICS member in the 11th BRICS meeting in Brasilia, which reaffirmed the members' commitment to uphold the United Nations Charter, the purpose of the United Nations Charter, the principle of United Nations Charter. So you see this, just now I have told you that reforming the multilateral system is one of the most important priority area of the BRICS, and this comes from the Brasilia Declaration. The Brasilia Declaration, it support multilateralism, mutual respect of international law, reforming of the multilateral system, and the major role of the United Nations in the international affair. So this is the Brasilia Declaration that we must know when it was founded, in which year 11th BRICS Summit was held, where it was held, and what is the Brasilia Declaration. That is very important. Now, whenever we discuss any summit or any such thing, we should also take into the recent history about it. One is the history that has happened 10 years, 12 years, 15 years before. One is the recent history. So when we are discussing the 13th BRICS Summit, we must know the 12th BRICS Summit. Now the 12th BRICS Summit was in the Corona pandemic. After postponing it for 2 to 3 times, finally it was held online by the chairmanship of Russia, and the theme of that summit was global stability, shared security, and innovative growth. Now the 13th BRICS Summit, the 13th BRICS Summit is BRICS at 15 intra-BRICS cooperation for continuity, consolidation, and consensus. And that of the 12th BRICS Summit, and that of the 12th BRICS Summit is that global stability, shared security, and innovative growth was the theme. It was hosted by Russia. It was an online summit. The highlight we must know that what were the basic outcome of the 12th BRICS Summit. The first is the terrorism. Always remember, whenever India is part of any organization, whether it is BRICS or whether it is United Nations Security Council, as also we can see now in the last 2 to 3 years, India has been discussing terrorism as one of the most priority area. So here also the BRICS Summit, the 12 BRICS Summit outcome, one of the outcome was the reformation, the how to tackle terrorism, United Nations Security Council reforms, as I have told you already, and the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. Because it was the time the 12th BRICS Summit was held, the whole world was going through the Corona pandemic and the induced lockdown. So the members of the BRICS Summit, they discuss about the ongoing COVID pandemic, the reforms in the United Nations Security Council, and the terrorism part. This is about the 12th BRICS Summit. Now we come to the 13th BRICS Summit. So what are the outcome of the 13th BRICS Summit? The 13th BRICS Summit, it first and the most priority area of the 13th BRICS Summit was Afghanistan. The issue of Afghanistan was the most important and the priority area of all the 5 countries in this summit. So they called for an inclusive intra-Afghan dialogue for the stability in Afghanistan, because the situation, as we all know what is the situation in Afghanistan, they have called for an intra-Afghan dialogue for the stability in Afghanistan. One of the very important outcome is the New Delhi Declaration. This is a very common question that can be asked in any of the law examination, that the about the New Delhi Declaration. This New Delhi Declaration called for an humanitarian stability situation in Afghanistan, and the right of the women, children, minorities should be upheld. They made it very clear. Now this meeting of the BRICS Summit is very important for the ongoing whatever on situation in Afghanistan. As we know, two of the country of this BRICS, that is Russia and China, they have their diplomatic presence in Kabul still now, and they are even ready to accept the Kabul as government in Afghanistan. So this consensus is very important among the BRICS member, that what will their stand. Still India has not taken any stand. Russia is telling that we will take into consideration India and then we will decide finally. However, before just 5 to 6 days before, they have just not an official statement, but a statement was made by the External Affairs Minister of Russia that they are ready to accept the Kabul government, and China has already accepted the Kabul government, Taliban government in Kabul. So Russia and China continue to have their diplomatic presence in the Kabul, where we are having the Taliban going to take. Has formed the government in Afghanistan, and so the BRICS summit was mostly the most priority area of this summit was your Afghanistan issue, the ongoing situation in Afghanistan. Apart from this, there was the COVID-19 pandemic was discussed. The strategy was discussed to strengthen all the multilateral all the organization and to reform the multilateral system. One of the question that can be asked is the adoption of the BRICS counter-terrorism action plan. The question can be like something that which of the following has been adopted by the 13th BRICS summit to make terrorism weaken or to weaken terrorism. The answer will be BRICS counter terrorism action plan. This is a very important question. Now, in this, as we have already seen that it was chaired by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has asked all the other members to focus on 4 C's of the as a principle of BRICS, which are the cooperation for continuity, consolidation, and consensus. Prime Minister Modi said that this should be the basic principle of the BRICS partnership, and it was the 15th anniversary of the BRICS, of the International Alliance of the International Union, which was formed in 2006, which was called BRIC, and in 2010 and 2011 officially South Africa joined. India has chaired BRICS summit 3 times as of now, including 2021. So this was all about the BRICS summit. You must know in detail about the organization, the history, the 12th BRICS summit, and what are the outcome, what are the major outcome in the 13th BRICS summit that was concluded. So that's all for this topic. Thank you.